Alright, hi Emily, my name's Lizzie.
Hi, Lizzie.
So nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
Alright, well I'm a FAM 360 student, so I'm
Okay.
going to be conducting your session today.
Okay.
But I have to go over a couple things with you real quick.
Okay.
If you ever feel at any time that you need to stop, we're going to stop, okay? Just let me know during this entire session. And then also, if you're feeling neglect, harm, or abusive through anything that we talked about, or it brings up memories or something, I'm going to have to report it, just so you know.
Okay.
Alright, so we're good?
Yeah. Good.
Alright, well, awesome. Well, just give me a little bit of what's happening in your life that you come here to talk to me about.
I'm here today because one of my roommates is just so disrespectful to me and like my other roommates. She'll come in like really late at night after like a night out. Like if I'm not out, she'll come in late and I'll hear her like storm inside, like go in her room, she'll turn the music on super loud. It's not just that, like if I'm trying to study and like she's just like hanging out in her room, like she'll, you know, be laughing really loud and like, you know, like screaming and having the music going, and I just like don't, and I've told her several times that it like bothers me, but you know, it'll change for like a couple weeks and then it'll just go right back to normal.
Yeah, it sounds like you're feeling a little disrespected because of your time, and, you know. Alright, so give me just a little bit of background of how you guys met, who she is as a person.
I met her through some friends my freshman year, and we've been really good friends ever since. It's just that, you know, when you live with someone, it kind of like shows their true colors a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think after, like, I love her, but after living with her for a couple years, it's just like, oh my gosh, like, do you just have any, like, respect for, like, any of the other people you live with?
Yeah.
So I just don't really know, like, kind of, like, how to, like, what more I can do.
And how many roommates do you have?
There's 5 of us total.
Okay. Yeah. So, and they are kind of feeling the same way?
Yeah.
And how'd you meet them? Do they know her?
They do know her. Like, we're all, like, mutual friends.
Okay.
So
you guys all knew each other before living in the house?
Yeah,
okay.
we did. So I would say my other roommates have a problem with it. My room's really close to hers, so I kind of get like the brunt of like the noise.
Yeah.
But I would say that they definitely like get annoyed by it too.
Okay. Well, how long did you say you've been living with her?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. And it's kind of been like this the entire time, or has it been
It's
more
kinda
of a recent?
Gradually, just like gotten worse.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't super bad in the beginning, and then as you know, I've lived with her longer, it's just kind of like escalated and like it's blown up to be this like big annoying problem.
Okay. So do you feel your roommates feel a little disrespected by it? Do you guys ever sat down and?
We've never sat down with her together.
Have you and your roommate sat down and talked about it?
By ourselves?
Yeah.
We have, but obviously like that doesn't get anything done because it's like she's not there. But yeah, we've talked about it, but we've never like sat down with her all as a group. Only like maybe like I've sat down with her individually, but you know, like I said, that doesn't.
So
really
do you guys hang out outside of the
Yeah,
house?
we do. Like if like we're all gonna go out.
Yeah.
One night, like we'll go out together and stuff, and she's like really fun.
What do you guys do together?
We love to do all sorts of things, like, you know, like normal friend activities.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously we'll go out to the bars and stuff on the weekends and kind of socialize with other friends.
Yeah.
You know, mall, you know, hanging out just at home, like cooking, just like regular kind of roommate stuff.
Okay, and so does she have a pet? Does she have a boyfriend?
She does have a boyfriend.
Okay.
He doesn't really come around too much, but if he does, I would say like it probably makes the noise worse.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't really know what to do about that, but it kind of, it doesn't help the situation, but it's just, but he doesn't really come around too often, so it's not really like a huge factor in the situation.
So can you give me a little bit more background about her? What she does, her work life?
She has a full-time, pretty much a full-time job. Like the days she doesn't have class, she's working like a full 8-hour day.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so she does work a lot, so our schedules are kind of conflicting. The days that like I work, she doesn't work.
Yeah.
So that kind of helps. Then at night, you know, like when I have class the next day, and she doesn't, like she'll just kind of like go crazy with the noise and just like leave her door open, like doesn't really like shut it. Like I'll have to ask her to shut it.
Yeah.
So it's tough.
So just kind of things have been building.
Yeah, it's exactly.
Wow. Well, I definitely get that. That's probably really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Hard for you. Have you ever thought about ways to compromise on it, or ways that you can talk to your roommates more about it?
I've kind of tried to talk to her a little bit about compromising. If I do, she'll be like, oh my gosh, Emily, like I'm sorry, like I didn't realize.
Yeah.
But like how many times can you not realize? Like 50 times,
I know,
you know?
Yeah.
And my roommates have talked to her about it. She kind of just tells us all the same thing.
Yeah.
And I think maybe when she thinks that she's like not being loud, like she is being loud.
Yeah.
So it's just
girls are hard to live with, especially when you have multiple girls on top of it. You know, I did the same thing, lived with multiple girls at a time, about the same amount. There always had to be that one person that's like your loud person.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just like tough to kind of like let her know that, you know, hey, like for the 50th time, like you're being super loud.
Yeah.
And like how many more times I have to tell you?
Yeah. So is there normally like a time at night that she comes in late?
I would say, yeah, probably like 11 if
Yeah.
I'm like still up like trying to study or like go to sleep.
Yeah.
Kind of like when people are starting to like quiet down. It's later, and then she'll just come barreling in, like turn the music up on her computer, watch a TV show really loud.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's rough.
Okay. Well, I would definitely advise, you know, sitting around talking to your roommates more about it, because I think, you know, they might be closer on things that, you know, they feel like they could, you know, tell her about. And,
Right.
you know, sitting down in a group of, you know, if you sit down in a group with all 5 of you guys, you know, you could feel like she's being attacked. You know, like she might feel like she's being attacked. So, like, everybody's sitting around and talking about issues that have come up and house rules, and maybe not exactly rules, because we know we don't like house rules exactly, and, you know, saying, oh, we need to live this way and that way. And that's not what you're trying to say. You're just trying to say, right, that you just want to be respected.
Yeah, I just kind of want her to, like, respect, you know, my time, and, like, vice versa. Like, I want to respect hers, too, when she's, you know, trying to sleep or study or do whatever. So I'm just kind of wanting to see that, like, it's affecting, like her, the way she's acting is affecting the whole house.
Do you think it's affecting your guys' friendship sometimes?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
In what ways?
I think that it's definitely making me, like, resent her more. It's making me, you know, just kind of, like, be angry towards her, which, you know, I hate to feel that way, but, like, she's kind of, like, making me mad that she's, like, I've told her so many times to keep it down, and she won't. So she's, it's just kind of, like, makes me not want to be around her as often, because I just get so irritated.
Yeah, so it's hurting your friendship and stuff.
Oh, yeah, I would say, yeah.
But does she hang out around your friend group at all? Or is she a separate friend group?
No, she's in our friend group.
Yeah.
I would definitely say that, like, the way that things have been going in the house, like, it's kind of maybe causing a little tension.
How does she act in big groups?
She's, like, pretty normal.
Yeah.
I would say that, like, yeah, she'll, you know, if her boyfriend's around, she'll kind of hang out more with him. Like, if we all go out, like, with a bunch of, like, different people, you know, her boyfriend will come with us. Yeah. She'll kind of just, like, stick to him. But, I mean, things are pretty normal. Like, when we're out, it's she's fine. But it's just, like, you know, because when you all go out together, you can kind of, like, disperse and, like, do your own thing. Yeah. But I think that it's when it's, like, just our house is when it's, like, kind of hard.
Yeah. So do you think if you guys sat down that she'd be willing to listen, or do you think it'd be a hard conversation for you guys to have?
I think that she would be willing, but she's really stubborn.
Okay.
So I just don't know, like, and, you know, since I have told her a few times, like, hey, listen, can you turn it down? Or, like, just letting you know I have a big test tomorrow. Like, she'll hear me, but I don't know how much it's sticking. Yeah. So I just don't know what else I can do.
Yeah, I would definitely advise sitting down. Do you know anything about, like, her past life that might make her loud?
No. She's just kind of like a loud person.
Like a loud person.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah, so I would advise you, know, talking to your roommates, maybe starting like a group message.
Okay.
Finding ways to
let each other know.
You know, like, hey, we're coming in at this time. You know, oh, I'm studying at this time. Just keep it down. Figuring out ways of when she's at the library, so that way you know that you can study during this time and to efficiently study during that time until she's able to get back.
Right.
You know?
That's true.
You know, with what I had to do with my roommates was sit down and talk about it. You know, just having an open house, because your house, you guys are all living together, so you kind of have to make it open for everybody. Being able to sit around and, you know, you say you guys are all friends, so talking in just a friendly way, maybe having a drink and talking about it.
Right.
Just so it's laid back.
Yeah.
Not like you're attacking her.
So I will say she's probably someone that would feel like
she's being attacked,
and, like, really that would, like, she would, like, freak out. So yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay. Well, I just want to let you know this is about to be your 5-minute warning.
Okay.
Through the rest of this, I'm just going to talk a little bit about ways to help you out. So I also see a lot of strengths that came from this.
Okay.
You know, ways of you needing to reach out. You know, like, you realize that you need to reach out.
Yeah.
And so finding ways with your roommates, finding ways on your own to reach out. Telling her, like, hey, this is when you're being really loud. Like, I'm studying right now. Can you please just respect my time? A lot of, like, using just respect can be, like, a big word for her.
Okay.
And she might take that to heart a little bit more of, oh, yeah, I really need to be respectful. So, you know, you could bring up stuff like that to her.
Okay.
You could find equal ground on compromising. Does that sound good? So
Yeah.
being able, do you think you could sit around and talk with her?
I think so. So do you think it's a good idea that we kind of all sit, like, kind of like what you were saying, you think it's a good idea for all of us to maybe come together?
Yeah.
Since I've tried so many times to sit down with her alone.
Yeah.
You think maybe we get the message across better?
Yeah, maybe if you did like a 2-on-2 time. For,
Okay, so
you
not
know,
like all
or-
5 of us.
Yeah, so maybe you and another
Like
roommate
3 of
are
us.
just hanging out and you're like, hey, you know, you were really loud last night coming in, or, you know, text her, which it sounds like texting isn't the best way of, you know, saying it, but just be like, when are you going to be home next for, you know, you guys to sit around and talk, so she doesn't feel like she's being attacked.
Okay.
And you don't want to attack her, because
Yeah.
you said you guys are friends, so
And-
you guys have
yeah.
a good friendship.
Oh yeah, we do. And I will say, I think she's like, she's so sensitive.
Yeah.
So I think it's hard, like I think partly the reason why no one says anything is because they're afraid
Yeah.
that if you say something, she's gonna like make it into this thing
Yeah.
that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that because she's so sensitive and like worried that it's gonna like blow up in our faces or
Yeah.
something.
Hmm.
So
Okay, well, and then do you guys know, are you living with her next year? Do you know the situation of where she's
we'll
living?
we'll all be
Okay.
kind of going our separate ways.
Okay, so you have about how many more months left with her?
I would say like 4 or 5.
Yeah, and not most of that. Is she living there this summer? Most
Probably,
likely.
yeah. But
Yeah.
she'll be traveling a lot this summer for family stuff. So.
Yeah, so I mean, you only have a couple more months to push through with it. And
It's
you
true.
know, around, I guess, midterms, if you already had midterms.
Mhm.
So around finals time, she should hopefully get quieter.
True,
you know,
true.
along with the whole household, you
Mhm.
know, and just laying down the ground rules of, you know, we have to
Right.
respect everybody else, and just making sure we're using that word of respect, I think would be a good way. Do you have any more questions?
So if, let's say she freaks out,
Yeah.
if we sit down with her, like, what do you think? Like, do you think it's just, like, where should we go from there if the situation, like, doesn't change?
Yeah, I think, you know, you guys, before anything, are friends, so you could always
Yeah.
just remind her, like, we're coming to you in this friendly way, like, we're not trying to attack you, you know, we're girls, so tears might start going,
Yeah.
and, you know, maybe she just needs that little bit of push,
Push,
and so
yeah.
sometimes it's tough love with people, it's just you have to lay it out as it is, so you might need to do that.
Okay.
You know, you can always have that moment of a falling out, but at least you're having the conversation and, you know, seeing where it goes from there. I'm sure because you guys being friends and in the same friend group, it's not going to end up bad. She'll respect you for bringing it up.
That's true.
And, you know,
That's
do you
true.
agree with that?
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. I think definitely, like, we just need to communicate better.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
clearly, like, there's, like,
communication needs to be-
miscommunication. Yeah.
And then, you know, boyfriend can come over around this time, you know, finding ways of not making it so loud, or, hey, my friends are coming in at this time, you know, just asking her to inform you on things, I think would be really good.
Okay, great.
Okay,
Great.
awesome. Well, I would love to hear about this the next time you come in.
Definitely.
We can definitely sit down and talk about it more and see if we need to get more advice on what happened and see where the friendship goes and things like that.
Great.
Does
Well,
that
thank you
sound
so
good?
much.
You're
Yeah.
welcome. Well, so nice to
It
meet
was so
you,
nice to
Emily.
meet you, too.
I'm looking forward to having another meeting with you.
Yeah,
again,
me too. Thanks.